Avnish Awasthi joining us on the phone line. Mr. Awasthi, what can you tell us? Looks like a smooth operation and really a sigh of relief with that for everyone who has their houses in those towers adjacent to the now twin towers that have completely been reduced to dust. What are the big challenges that lie ahead? And before that, if you could just tell us about the impact, if there was any impact whatsoever on the adjacent buildings. What is it that you've been able to pick up, sir?
Well, I had a discussion with the officers on the ground, the CEO, the CP as well as the DM. Everything has gone as per schedule. The immediate impact will be settlement of the dust, removal of the rubble. The long-term impact, it's too soon to give us give a reply right now. But I think that you have all seen it very visually that everything went as per schedule, and I'm sure this message that anything which is illegal will not stand the test of time has been proved.
Absolutely, sir. The biggest message has been sent out to the corrupt lobby behind this big corruption project. But as far as the next few days go, Mr. Awasthi, now that the Home Department is monitoring the situation very carefully, we heard the Chief Minister there as well. How challenging is it going to be? Because there are people who want to come back to their houses, some of whom have been evacuated on a temporary basis. What is it that the officials plan to do?
Well, we don't expect much of a challenge in the long run, but then the short run, obviously, everyone has to be careful. You wait for a while, by evening things will be very clear. Sprinklers have been put in place, fire brigades have been put in place, the police has used the fire tenders to ensure that a lot of water is sprinkled to bring down the dust. The rubble obviously will take some time, but I'm sure the things will do. Ensured.
All right, Mr. Awasthi, so far it all looks good, and to get into details, of course, we'll be focusing on what the ground reports suggest in the coming few minutes, but what's the feedback that you've received? Has the operation gone as per plan?
The operation, as you can see, gone as per plan. It's too soon to give an immediate reply, but the local officers at the ground are all on the job. The agency which was given the charge of demolition has done it well. I'm pretty sure everything will work out as planned. And wait for a while and everything will come out properly. And obviously right now, unless the green signal is given by the local authorities, people should wait and should not come out in the open so that the environment time is given to clear the air around, literally.
And before I let you go, Mr. Awasthi, one last question. The biggest challenge is that one has had to face with regards to the preparations. Talk about traffic, talk about emergency services, the evacuation. How was the journey for everyone involved in this big operation?
Well, at the government level, the Honorable Chief Minister himself personally monitored this. The Industry Department, which was given this charge, the Home Department, all and everyone in the government were very closely monitoring this. The officers on the ground were given specific instructions. The best of the agencies were put in place, so I think everything has gone as per schedule. And the rule of law has been maintained on the ground. The Honorable Supreme Court's orders have been implemented, so things will go well. This message is big and clear that, well, in UP, the rule of law will be supreme.
All right, big breaking news that's now coming in as the corruption towers have been brought down. The UP government has also named and shamed the corrupt babus. Remember, the Supreme Court had said that the structure had been built colluding with the officials. So now the UP government has released a list of the officials, naming and shaming of the officials. Remember, a lot of residents, a lot of our viewers had also called in to say, what about the action against the officials? Amir Haq, Lucknow Bureau Chief, joining us with these details. Amir, big development there. Uttar Pradesh government naming and shaming the officials. What are the names and the impact that it's going to have?
Well, these are 26 officials from the Noida Development Authority which have been listed in a list that has been released by the Chief Minister's office. That includes at least 3 CEOs, top management officials of the Noida Development Authority, as well as 23 others from planners to architects Babus really who were involved there, who were responsible for planning and its implementation on the ground, and also 4 directors from Supertech Limited as well as planners and architects therein. Although, more than half of these people have actually retired from their services, it is perhaps on the courts and the government now to pursue the cases against them. But what is surprising here, Pratibha, is that number of such officials continue to serve with the government here, not just in the Noida Authority, but also in the Greater Noida Authority as well as the Yamuna Expressways Development Authority. So that is one aspect that the government needs to look into, and definitely with the kind of furor amongst people that we've seen, the kind of inconvenience that they've gone through, such people really need to be brought to book.
Right. That's right. All right. Amir, thank you so much for joining us with those details. So now action to be taken against the corrupt Babus, naming and shaming by the UP government as well. On that note, we're slipping into a very quick break here. Don't go anywhere. I'll be joining you next after this very short break on What Next and a report from the ground.